best put together minis I've ever been. Sean, that's an animal. And like that, and that's all fifth gear. It just screams. Sean, that is insane.
So here we are with another BPM episode. As you can see in that intro, Joel got a little excited and forgot to record a real intro. So welcome to the channel, and in this video we're looking at Sean's Mini. Sean runs Land Speed, which is also known as Exclusive Workshops, and he does all sorts with mini builds, engines, anything you want really. He's showing us through a recent build he's done here, which is really proper. It might not look much from the outside, but underneath it's an absolute animal. So I'm going to leave this footage pretty unedited now while Sean talks us through everything he's done to the car. If you need anything, check out his website exclusiveworkshops.co.uk, or he can be found on Facebook. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is
What's the rev limit on this then? Is it 8?
something like that.
Sean, that's an animal. Does the gearbox feel good? Yeah, it's absolutely mega. Yeah. That's insane. That's absolutely mental.
Well, you have to consider there's 3 great lumps in the car.
I know, that's what I mean. That's absolutely mega.
Is this where we get out?
I think this is where we go. So, I've just dropped Sean and TJ off for a bit of a drive-by. And whilst he's not in the car, I'm going to sing his praises because he's a very modest man. So, this has got to be one of the best put-together cars I have ever experienced in my life. It's insane. It revs to 8,000. The handling is spot on. It's got teens on it, I think he said. You might not be able to hear because of the microphone. But the power's just mental. And his gearbox ratio's insane. It's absolutely mega. Is it good? Sean, that is insane. That is so good. I've never felt nothing like it. Yeah. I'm not even joking. It just goes. Oh my god. That just goes. You'll feel it when there's no one in it.
Well, that's the thing. We're back in the world of 3 great lumps in a car, changing everything about it. Its response.
I absolutely adore it.
So, 40 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So you're in 5th.
Yeah.
3 of us in the car.
In the wet. And it just keeps pulling. And like that. And that's all 5th gear. I actually can't get over this. It's my favourite driving experience ever. I thought my Focus used to put a smile on my face.
And what is it they say? It's only a Mini.
Yeah, it's only a Mini. Hairdresser's car.
What do you want a girl's car for?
Yeah.
This is a girl's car, I'll take it.
I know, yeah. I'll definitely have a tuck. That's it. So start with engine and then work down to
So
the gearbox.
so the car's got showing 130,000 miles. It had a donor block,
Yeah.
which was rebored $500,000,
Yeah.
and it's got Wassenaar 77.5 forged pistons in it. It's got ZRP I-beam forged rods in it, which come with ARP 2000 rod bolt, so much stronger rod bolt. Standard crankshafts, King race big end bearings, King main bearings.
Yeah.
Aluminium GTT flywheel.
Yeah. It just screams. And it's not soft.
GTT alloy flywheel. It's still got a standard crank damper on it.
Yeah.
Supercharger at the moment on it was it's a 22,000 mile charger, Teflon charger.
Yeah.
With it's got an Alta 17% pulley on it. Cylinder head is a Lowen ported head, which has got Schrick aftermarket valves in, which are bigger both for inlet and exhaust.
Yeah.
It's got development cam of mining, which is the EW03R.
Oh, that's your car.
There's only one of them, and that's in this car. So,
Yeah.
and it's got to go with that cam, it's got the later rockers that have got the metal caps on over the lifters, and the rockers have been relieved on the exhaust side to give room for the cam lobes because they're quite big. And then it's got Supertech valve springs, the BI valve springs with the titanium caps.
Yeah.
That's that bit. Standard ignition coil. It's got the plugs I use are a Bosch FGR5 KQEO, which is just a preference of mine. It's just a slightly colder plug, but the 4s I like because I think they're more resilient for this type of tuning.
Yeah.
And the intercooler on it is a Pro Alloy one, so it ditches the small horn.
Okay.
It goes straight onto the inlet manifold.
Okay.
Standard bypass valve, none of these stuff with revised springs in or anything. I'm not into that. They don't need it.
No.
Standard radiator, still an aircon car. It's got all that stuff in and working.
Yeah.
That's that. And the gearbox then is it's a PKL box, but it's been fitted with a Quaife ATB diff, automatically full biasing diff.
Yeah.
But one of my final drive conversions.
Yeah.
So the lay shafts in the gearbox have been changed because they've got different pinion ratios and the crown wheel. So the ratios in this now are 1366
Yeah.
and 2066.
What are they standard?
I can't remember.
No.
Longer.
A lot longer.
Yeah, quite a bit. So the thing that people would relate to, say in a facelift car, you're probably doing about 23.5 miles per hour per 1,000 revs in top.
In top, right, okay.
In this car, you're doing more like 20 miles per hour per 1,000 revs in top.
Okay.
You think, well, that's not really a big difference.
No,
But so standard car, 4,000 revs on the motorway, or 4,000 revs in top, 92 miles an hour. This car is 80.
Yeah.
So if you like cruising on the motorway at 90,
it's not
for instance, your revs are in a more favourable place for a tuned engine that's running a cam.
Right, okay.
Because any car that's on a half decent fast road cam is probably only getting onto the cam over 4, somewhere between 3.8 and 4.5. So this car will be, now it's at 3.8, so it's probably starting to
wanting to go.
wants to go. So that's from 3.8.
Yeah.
You can cruise along at 4, so you get into a gear where it's higher. So imagine on the motorway 4.5.
Yeah.
You'd be doing 90 miles an hour at 4.5. It's already in the cam range.
Yeah. It just wants to pull in every gear. I love it.
thing that makes a difference as well is with the gears. If you've got lower gears, if you've got a standard engine with them, then you're going to run out of power, I suppose. But this thing revs past 8,000 revs.
Yeah.
So for all that you've shortened those gears in one regard, you've kind of lengthened them with the flexibility of the engine again.
Yeah.
So your range to keep it in and just keep it in is considerable. I mean, it's wet, so it's not an ideal.
No, it's not, but it's traction control's fine. Did I hit the limit then?
That was actually my foot on the carpet.
Oh, was it? I thought it was a limit.
Well, it was limit.
Yeah,
it was on the carpet until it hit the limit.
With you. Foot flat to the carpet, yeah.
But that's what 8,000 revs sounds like in an R53. So with three brutes in the car.
Oh man. It's eye-watering, is what it is. It's eye-watering.
Well, it's relative as well. Like we said a couple of times, 3 of us.
Yeah.
I weigh, I don't know, 15, 16 stone. I don't know what you weigh.
I'm not far from you now.
there's a bit of weight going on in here, and it's all relative. We're in a 1.6 litre car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a family, well, not even a family, but it's a modest size hatch, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, F1 cars are 1.6 litres now.
Yeah. I don't think we're there in tech, are we?
No, not quite.
But then, flip side, it's as docile as you want it to be.
Yeah. Oh, when you just want to drive.
Yeah. Short shift in the 3rd gear.
Potholes, it's not even horrible.
Yeah. Welcome to Wales.
Yeah.
So 4th gear, 30 mile an hour. 5th gear. In fact, 3 of us in the car, 30 mile an hour, 6th gear.
Yeah. Wow.
You're in that under 1500 revs where the cam
it's
won't
still
like
going.
it will, but it won't pull it as cleanly as my other cam. But in 5th it will.
The EWO2.
Yeah. Or the O2R. The hotter you go, you're going to lose something. It's all a compromise. You've got a power band like that, like a quadrant, and you're moving it further up. As you move it up, you can widen it a little bit. But that's all you're doing. It's all a compromise somewhere.
Yeah.
So where do we drive realistically?
Yeah.
This is it's a thing that some people make a mistake with. So they all say, "Oh, I want this cam, fast road cam," but they don't realise how much they'll miss the off-idle performance.
Yeah.
So some of the mild cams actually work for a lot of people who are on these roads who just want an occasional squirt.
Just give it a good squirt every now and then.
But there is a lot of us that like a fast road cam.
100%.
So the sacrifice with this EWO3R is up to say 1400 revs.
Yeah.
Where when you try and get off the line, if you try and dive out in front of someone,
where I stole
you just, it might just want a few hundred. It's a learned behaviour. You just need to give it a couple more hundred revs on to help it. But it's a short learning curve. It's no big deal. It's no different to the gearbox and the shift points and stuff.
No. What spring rate are in these coilovers?
I don't know. These are tines, so whatever they come with, I don't think they're customisable.
No.
They're not high. I mean, the coils aren't brilliant. I fitted several sets of these, and I remember one car had Bilstein B14s on.
Yeah.
And they're a really soft spring compared to these. I think I can put them in my hands and I can squeeze them. Not all the way down, obviously. No. I'm not that strong. They were a compliant spring, but the car felt harsh on the road.
Yeah.
And that was just the damping, just the valving.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, on a track they're okay, but on the road they were just crashy.
Yeah.
And on one particular car, we went from them to these, and it was night and day, absolutely night and day. And that car's still quite a capable fast road car, as is this. This has been round track with these tines on.
Yeah.
So they're an affordable coilover if someone wants to have a coilover. And I'd say they're not what I would go and buy and put on my car.
No.
But for someone starting off, a good word to think about is difference.
Yeah.
right? So you can think of some of the cheaper brands, like you hear people talking about max speeding rods or Racelands,
Yeah.
right? So there might be 300 quid. These might be 480 quid.
Yeah.
So the difference for 180 quid
The diff.
for a car that can have a coilover that allows you to set the car a bit higher,
Yeah.
because low doesn't mean fast,
No.
and on roads like this, it's
Especially
useless. This thing's quite capable on track, even the height it's at. You've got a decent range of compression travel in your damper. You haven't got too much rebound travel in the damper.
Yeah.
So you've got nice control, reasonable damping control, if you like. But overall, the car is
solid.
Is nice for mixed use.
Yeah. Whereas ours,
but for the difference of 180 quid.
yeah, that's
So-
it. So we should have just spent the extra 180 because the body roll in ours is horrendous, even on track.
Yeah, and this has got less of a front roll bar. So suspension wise, we talked a bit about it's got the tines on.
Yeah.
The front roll bar was ditched. It had a Chili Pax sport suspension plus front bar
That's
there.
the fatter front
Yeah, I
roll
think
bar.
they're like 24 mil or 20,
yeah.
something like that. So it's got a mini one bar on it now with power flex bushes.
Yeah.
Lower control arms have got Black Series power flex bushes on. Nothing else is done at the front. It hasn't got any variable caster or anything like that.
Yeah.
The camber settings on this are the same as we've just set yours to. I think I set these to the maximum at the front, which on these are these Silver Project top mounts, which were again, they were a compromise.
Yeah, they're the same.
And it just got some negative camber in there, which was what we wanted.
Yeah.
So they only go to about 1.8, so they're just slammed to wherever.
Did you max out at 2, did you then?
Yours
Or
are
no?
on- yours
You're
are on
maxed-
2.
Maxed out on
And then the rears on this I've left at 2.
Yeah.
So normally I would set the rears half a degree behind
the front.
the front, yeah. So this is a slight variance there, but I've just left it at 2. Rear suspension, the whole subframe's off an R56, so it hasn't been decorated, powder coated or anything like that. It's just all as it came. No bushes have been changed. Exhaust wise on it, it's a Yanspeed manifold, 4-into-1. It's got a Tomcat, which is the customised stock cat for it, and a Miltech cat back. Brakes, I don't know if we've covered on this, the JCW size R56 4-pots.
Yep.
For their Budweg calipers at the front.
Legs, yeah.
So 316mm discs, and the rears are the R56 JCW 280mm.
Yeah, so the beefier rears as well.
Yeah, but some people say you don't need.
Nice
I'm going to argue that. I've fitted them on several cars, and I can tell you the before and difference. A lot of it's about the car, how capable the car is, the speeds you might be carrying, as well as the weight of the car.
Yeah.
Guys with a stripped out car that's nearly a ton in weight probably won't need the same braking.
Yeah.
I know I've got the bigger brakes on mine, and I wouldn't want to be without them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's a personal thing.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's car's personal to their needs, isn't it?
I think everyone who's listening or watching this will probably might already reconcile that standard R53 brakes are not suitable for a converted car in any way. But you can't really say the same about the rears. The rears will do okay.
That's it. Well, we kind of went with your philosophy of why aren't they? So we gave them a go on track just to see, because we didn't know if it was just Facebook hearsay.
Yeah.
Right. So we had a look. We had a good idea they were going to be terrible, and they were terrible. But we tried it.
Yeah, they're good. I started off on the R56S conversion on my black car.
Yeah.
And I made them work, but they got so hot they melted my front speed sensors. And then I've put the 6-pots on, and that's not happened again.
No.
Yeah, they still get properly hot. Like, it's hard to touch the dust caps if you check your tyre pressure.
Yeah.
It's too much radiated heat. And then going back to the rear brakes on these, even if you didn't go to the 280s, a worthwhile consideration is, especially if you've gone to the R56 alloy arms, is changing to the R56 calipers.
Yeah.
Because I think they're a lighter caliper. They ditch the spring that's on the outside as well. And but more importantly, the slide pins. So you just divert here. So 1500 revs, you can feel it's reluctant.
But now fifth.
Don't know. It was fifth.
Yeah, going uphill.
Fifth uphill, yeah, it doesn't like. So there we are, we're off now.
Yeah.
Brakes. So they've got the R56 ones ditch the rubber sliders in favour of a metal one. So the caliper's just a bit more sturdy.
Right.
Doesn't make a big difference. The disc's the same, it's doing the same job. Just you might find that the pads taper hardware is a little bit different. You know, I've said before today, I'm flattered if you guys like the car or like some of the stuff
I love it.
It's great.
I really do love it. And when we ever get into a position to buy your stuff, it's happening.
I'll perhaps let you have a go in the black car with the dog box.
Yeah.
But you'll have to listen to some instructions.
Okay.
It's lower ratios than this.
Yeah.
Maybe not. The gearing's all different, so
Yeah.
this feels really short. So
Yeah.
this one, its first gear is worth 30 miles an hour at 7,000 revs.
Yeah.
Second gear is worth 45 miles an hour at 7,000
Yeah.
revs.
So, really
So anything wanting to race you from the lights in the standard gearbox is probably going to do quite well.
yeah,
But when you're in third and up on here
you're gone.
with the right engine, you're gone.
Yeah.
I can't tell you enough about if you had a trip to Mexico
Yeah.
on a nice sunny day and you put one of these in fifth or sixth
Yeah.
and you go from say 90 up to 140,
Yeah.
you can probably get up there and back to stop before some cars would get there.
Yeah. That's it. That's the thing.
There's the thing. I mean, I remember playing with I think it was what's the 4x4, the S series Audis. Is it an S8 or S5 or something?
Just the S5.
Yeah,
No,
we were playing once in Mexico.
Yeah.
Slowing down, and you know, him determined he's going to go past me, so I let him go past. Fine, he might have had more power.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went past, get to a turn somewhere, and then he quickly becomes bait. So I just reel him in, go past him,
Yeah.
and then he wants to get past me again. So I let him go past. Well, I don't actually.
Yeah.
I let him nearly go past.
Yeah. And then.
And then just as he's alongside, I'll just put my foot down and they'll disappear. And I remember doing it on this one thing. It was a long road in Mexico. I must have done the same thing 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And I think he became appreciative at first. He
Yeah.
thought it was me being a twit.
Yeah.
But afterwards, he was like, I think he tried harder and harder, and he could not beat the Mini
Yeah.
in acceleration. You know, top speed, eventually, maybe he'd get there.
Oh yeah. That's
But
it.
slowing from 60 or from whether it's a roll-on from 80 or whatever.
And again, with it being a road car, that's why you want that power there. Well, you don't need 200 odd mile an hour, do you? So,
It's all you got to keep the sense of reality. What the
Yeah.
car is for what it is. 1.6, small car.
it is.
It can be a lot of fun. I know people will say, "Why don't you spending all that money on the car? Why don't you just buy a faster car to begin with?" Because they're not as engaging.
Yeah, that's it.
Speak to people that own Audi RS4s.
Yeah.
Absolute weapon of a car.
Yeah.
But they're just not as much fun.
What tyres is it? Pilot Sports, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's that bit there. It's that bit.
That's a combination of cam, head, and
Yeah.
gears.
Yeah.
And it's all on song. It just gets to where it wants to be, and then it's almost like the world's your oyster for
Yeah.
a moment. You know, you can have a lot of fun.
I think that's the James May fizzing sensation there, isn't it? That one.
You see, I like being able to do all that and get it over and done with really quickly.
Yeah.
If you've got a standard gearbox in a car that's struggling to make the best power, you know, and it takes you quite a long time to get there,
Yeah.
you're making yourself really obvious to other people as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Whether it's residents, road users, police, they hear you coming.
Yeah.
I don't
100%.
like loud exhaust. This is quite barky.
Yeah.
It's a bit loud for me. I don't like Miltex.
No.
But that's what the car's got. It wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
I own the car now. I built it for someone,
Yeah.
and I now own it, and it's for sale. So, well, it's £9,000 as it is, or I'll take bits off it and I'll make the car cheaper.
Yeah.
But
If you've got £9,000, buy it. That's it.
well, the chances are this gearbox is destined for a rallycross car in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
I've already sold one to a friend of his who was using it as a hill climb car, and he's moved on to an F series now, and he just won a class in his F series. So he's asked me to do a gearbox for him for that, which will be nice because that will be the first F series revised final drive box that's competing.
Yeah.
So if that helps his car,
That's-
great. But because he's used this gearbox first, he in the F series can relate to what he's lost in terms of response.
Yeah.
So as soon as he bought the car, he did the competing last year, and then he just messaged me over Christmas and says,
Yeah.
I'm going to find a donor box, get it to you. Can you make
Can
it
you build it?
like
Yeah.
the other one? They're longer gearing on an F series,
Yeah.
but it will be livelier.
So I've just so is this a baby compared to your grey one?
The grey one's never been completed, so the grey one's just a shell.
Oh, sorry, your black one.
The black one, yeah. The black one's quicker than this.
That's scary. That's actually scary.
I made that sound a bit flippant, didn't I?
Yeah. So the grey one's the one that'll beat both of them when it's finished.
The grey one doesn't weigh anything. It's
No.
just, in comparison. So if you imagine you've just driven it
Yeah.
with 3 of us in the car,
Yeah.
and then on your own.
Yeah. And it was
So
night
you've
and
got a direct experience of driving your current car,
Yeah.
as it is with the weight taken out of it.
Yeah.
But you've driven several R53s, so you know them, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got in this with 3 of us. Then you've got in this on your own.
Yeah.
And given it, all right, on a wet day, a bit of a shove.
Yeah.
Can you imagine taking, say 300 kilos
Out
of one,
when it's just you
and
on
having
your own.
more power than this has got now to drive it? It's going to be mental.
Yeah.
Normal.
Thank you very much
Engine.
for that, mate.
That's right.
That was mega.
You're
That
welcome.
was really mega. That was really, really mega.
Yeah, so it's just blown a
Cool, the
bit.
tank's blowing through. Oh yeah. When it cools down, it'll shrink back down.
So one
you
of
get the scores.
the reasons I changed to a Canton tank on mine
Yeah.
was because of that high revs.
Yeah.
The coolant speed is much higher.
Yeah.
17% pulley, it's been overdriven. The water pump's turning faster than
Yeah.
it ever did at 7,000, never mind 8,000.
Yeah.
And what I was finding in the 7s, it would just spit a little bit out.
So that's the
That's the pro alloy thing.
Yeah,
You can see it
with the-
goes straight onto the small
rather
horn.
than having two horns.
It is a chore if you're doing the cam swaps like I'm doing. It's a chore to get that off because you can't get the plugs out.
Right.
With
Yeah.
that there.
Of course. Yeah.
So to get that off, with it connected to your intake pipe through the bypass hose, you've got to be able to check that join on the supercharger.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. Of
I
course.
won't take them apart without having my hand on it.
Yeah.
So this has got to come
You-
off, carrier's got to come off, disconnect that, bring that forward, and then I can just get my hand down there to make sure that it's not jumped off the green
That's it.
seal.
Yeah.
And so it's got Vibrotechnics top mount there and the lower.
Yeah. What's the braided hose there?
That is because it's got oil pressure and temperature gauge in there.
Oh,
So
of course. Yeah.
that's an extension.
Right.
So
Is
I've
it
put-
just T-piece down there? Or?
Yeah, there's an adapter in there. So in the back of it, it's got the standard oil pressure switch, and then it's got another T-piece in the adapter, which has got these offsets capped on one end,
Yeah.
or both. So it was capped for a while, but then we didn't have the other temperature sensor. But the temperature sensor is playing up; it doesn't work. The John Cooper Works 210 airbox, which he's got the bits for, but it's just flap disabled. It's in there, but it's pinned open.
Right. Okay. Silver project. Oh, but they are, so they're adjustable damping as well.
Yeah,
On
they're
top,
just
yeah.
and that's the thing. So for the range that they are, so they have adjustable rebound. Do you know what? They're a cheap, affordable coilover that you can put on a daily, but
Still have
dual
fun
use.
with it,
yeah. So
Like there is no body roll really compared to
it's
that.
quite firm.
Yeah.
It's all right. I would prefer different. I mean, my ones that I imported were more firm than this, and they were a bit rattly because they had pillow ball mounts at the top.
Right. Okay.
Whereas this has got the standard mounts, so it's a bit quieter.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of the clatter, and what I do when I put the pillow ball mounts, I've got like a really sticky black grease. In fact, I introduced it to these guys.
Oh, did you?
So Paul, who aligned your car
Yeah.
earlier, he loves the stuff.
Nice.
So you spray it on. If he works on cars that he sees year in, year out, he can spray it on stuff and it's still there the next year.
Yeah.
It's really sticky, it's like glue.
Yeah.
But what I'll do, I'll get the spherical joint, spray it into the joint, comes out super runny, work the joint around, and it drags some of it inside. And the other thing, it's got these, is it JDM brake cooling ducts?
Oh, nice.
And that's a Leap Omicron V3 scoop.
Oh, the
on
biggest
there as
scoop,
well.
yeah. And it's had Joey's lights.
Oh yeah, those was like
Yeah.
It's just because the cable, it's not the latch, it's got a new latch on it.
To be fair, that was part of the reason we went with bonnet pins in the end. We just got fed up and messing about with it. We just ripped it off.
So yeah, it was an impromptu thing.
I know, that's
So,
mega.
well,
Thank
we're
you
standing
so
there
much
talking,
for
you
that.
could be driving it.
Oh no, it is really good though.